In prison, visitations are very important. It's a chance to connect with someone from the outside, and I was very blessed to have visits almost every weekend. My wife would come see me, or my mom would come see me. There's always somebody there for me. And last year, I had a visit. It was on a Sunday. And when I met my wife in that visiting room, it's also a chance to connect with the outside world, to get information. And the information she gave me was that President Trump was going to be speaking at the Libertarian Convention this year. She also told me that there was a rumor that he might pledge to commute my life sentence to time served if he's elected. That was pretty exciting. That was a turning point for me and my family and everybody who had been pulling for me. Many of you in this room. So, from that point, my fate was tied to his. When an assassin's bullet nearly took him out and took our country's future out, it also almost took my freedom out. But we all know what happened. He lived through that, and he was elected president. What's really remarkable about how all that played out was that the people in this country who love freedom and care about freedom, they found their political voice and flexed their political muscle and said, we want something done. And what you chose is my freedom. I'm deeply humbled by you. Thank you for giving me my life back. Thank you for giving me my freedom back. It means everything. So I'm free. Now what? I keep getting the advice to move on with my life, to put the past behind me, stop thinking about prison, forget what happened. I can't do that. I can't. I can't forget where I've been. I can't forget what I've seen. I can't forget the men that are still in there. Prisoners are the least among us. They are the bottom rung of society. How we treat them reveals who we are as a nation, as a people. I'm here to tell you that if you care about freedom and liberty, then you must care about what goes on inside those cages. It's true. It just is. That's where people are stripped of their freedom. That's where liberty is lost. I've been through the belly of that beast and come out the other side. I've seen the oppression and dehumanization firsthand. I've lived it. I'm not supposed to be here right now. They gave me life without parole. I was supposed to die in there. But through your strength and through President Trump keeping his word and being the man that he is, and through God's grace, I made it. And now I can tell you a little bit about what it's like in there. I'll start with a little story that exemplifies how when you lose freedom, you lose choices in ways you can't even imagine or predict. It's maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I started getting abdominal pains because of the food that was being provided. And through process of elimination, I figured out it's the meat. It was the meat that was doing it. So I cut out the meat. I went vegetarian. And the pains went away. But over the course of about a year, I lost about 25 pounds of lean body mass. I was emaciated. And I started to get nerve pain in my legs and lower back. I got to the point where I was holding on to the fence and limping to about a quarter mile to get to the food. And then it clicked that, okay, the wasting is what's causing the back pain, so I went back to eating the meat. The other pain returned, but I gained the weight back. But the back pain never went away until I was freed and I got access to proper nutrition again. That felt so good to eat fresh food and to be nourished and to have energy again. But those are the kind of hard choices that prisoners face and that most people don't think about. I met a man who was just getting out of solitary confinement. He'd been in there for 23 years. You can't imagine what a week of solitary is like. I can imagine probably a year after what I've been through. He did 23 years. All he wanted to do was talk to people. He was just chatting everybody up. He was so lonely, he just wanted to connect with anyone he could. We were in transit and, just crossed paths. That was it. A lot of people don't know that in the federal system, there's no parole, okay? So when you get a life sentence, that means, unless something miraculous happens like it did for me, you're gonna die in there. You're gonna grow old and die in there. Friends of mine grew old and died in prison with life sentences. There's also no conjugal visits in prison. So no parole, no conjugal visits. So if you go in there, you're not able to have children. You're not able to procreate. No parole, no conjugal visits. So that means that the government is deciding who will and who will not procreate, who is in the gene pool and who is not in the gene pool. There's a word for that. It's a dirty word. No one says it. It's eugenics. There's a silent eugenics program in this country, in the prisons. It was done to me. Like I said, there's just countless ways that the prison controls the prisoners. And if you push back, if you resist, they have ways of forcing compliance. It could be something as simple as taking a prisoner to a spot where there's no camera angle and just hitting them in the solar plexus. There's some pain for you, more where that came from. If that doesn't work, they have other ways of inflicting pain and sending the message that if you don't obey, you'll end up like this guy. The first time that I saw a restraint bed, it sent chills down my spine because it looks like a torture device. It is a concrete bed with thick iron hoops built into it where they run straps around people. So if they want to use this to inflict pain, what they do is they put you in the bed and they put the strap over their shoulder and they cinch down on it like that. And then they'll leave you there in your filth for days. I know men that walk with permanent limps because of the straps. I know men that have lost function in their hands because of the straps. Most prisoners are men, right? But there are women prisoners as well. And they're segregated. There's women's prisons and men's prisons, but the guards at both prisons are both male and female. If some guards are willing to torture men, what do you think they'll do to women that are under their control? I don't like saying it, but they rape them. And those women are trapped in a cage under the custody of men who raped them. It got so bad in FCI Dublin that they had to shut down the prison. It got out. You know, it was systemic. But it's the kind of system that treats people like objects. I'm sorry if this is hard for y'all to hear, but I can't forget where I've been. And I want you to know. I don't believe that we are a barbaric people. Americans are civilized. We are generous. We're forgiving. We care about human life and dignity. But barbarism is being done in our name, and it's being done to our fellow citizens. We inherited this system. We didn't build it. But we perpetuate it because we don't see it. And we don't see it because we don't want to see it. These are not pleasant things to hear. I get it. We have to, the only way to hear it is to either shut it out or to rationalize it, right? It's too horrific to look at directly. So we rationalize, we say things like, well, prison's not supposed to be fun. They're criminals. They deserve it. They broke the law. The only way to go on without weeping is to harden our hearts against the prisoners. Because to feel their pain truly and completely is to drown in it. It's just too much. The only legitimate purpose of prison is to prevent those that are a danger from hurting others. That's it. It's not for vengeance. It's not for punishing the disobedient. It's not for eugenics or torture or rape. I know the men that are in there. I can safely say, I was in there for over 11 years. I met lots and lots of people. And I can safely say that the majority of them, more than half, easily at least, have no business being in those cages for decades. Those cages that dot our country like some kind of disease. They're decent men. They're not an imminent threat to anybody. They can be safely released, just like I was. And those who can't, they're in there. There are some in there that are a danger. If we are to be a truly free country, we must treat even them, the least among us, with dignity and respect. None of us are free until we are all free. Because as long as a system like this exists, it is a threat to freedom everywhere. I hope that the message that I've shared with you today is heard. I hope that you can let it in. I know it's hard. Maybe you don't want to believe it. Maybe you don't want to think about it. I don't like thinking about it. I cry when I think about it. But the people in there, they need us to care. They need us to remember them. They need us to use what strength we have to get them out, make things better for them if we can. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time.